So first.
Absolutely.
And I was like,
let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast. It's Secret Wives, Lives of Mormon Wives, reunion edition, I guess, kind of.
We're back with these people.
I actually hate all these. I hate these women. I hate these men. I hate the host. I hated everyone.
I agree. Wait, this was the dumbest thing. And I was like, we're going to have to fucking record about this. But that always gives us our best episodes. So buckle up, everybody.
Listen, if you are a Nick Viall fan, this is the wrong podcast for you. Because I'm about to spend 2 hours bitching about him.
If you're a Nick Viall fan, I'm offended that you're listening to
listen.
us.
That's like being a Trump supporter. Don't listen to us.
Get out of here.
It's all the same. It's all the same.
Oh my God.
Okay, but let's start positive. Do you have a small celebration to share?
This is going to seem like it's a backhanded small celebration.
To me?
No.
Or just in general? Oh.
I had to return to the office this week, which I hate. That's not worthy of celebrating. But with it, oh my God, I missed out on office gossip. Like, I have been yapping. I'm exhausted today.
Yeah.
I've been yapping so hard.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of fun sometimes?
Oh my God, the drama, because like my office isn't ready for it, is so funny. People getting mad at different teams because like different teams are causing problems. I'm like, oh my God, get after it. But tell me everything. I'm like, tell me.
Tell me everything.
So, downside going into the office, upside office gossip.
Any good gossip to share? Or is it just office? It's not like it's like work.
It's
gossip.
Like the office bullshit of like desks. Do we go to hoteling? Some teams like are like having a bitch fit over it. They're yelling at our office manager, who's the nicest person ever.
Yeah.
And then also like my company got bought, and so we're now part of this like massive conglomerate, but like our Chicago office has stayed basically our old company, so like you can openly talk shit about the big company.
I love that,
because it's like the OGs in here, and when new people start, they're like, oh, were you with this or were you with that side? And it's like, baby, we are all the OGs of like the smaller company.
Oh, so it's like legit office gossip, because sometimes there's gossip in the office, which is different.
Yeah. No. This is company gossip, and it is piping because a lot's happening right now, and I haven't seen people in person. Like I've seen a few people because I've gone in a little bit, but like a lot of people haven't seen each other in months.
Amazing, love that.
I know. What about you?
Should I jump on the office bandwagon for small celebrations?
Oh my God, do you have something fun?
Meredith. Okay. Let me tell you, a lot of accountants and finance people suck.
Yes.
They absolutely socially suck, right? But when you got someone like me, and then you got like one other person or two other people I could play off of
that can carry the team,
we start the party. Let me tell you. Okay, so in June, my boss came to the New York office for a month because he's not in New York. And he's like probably around our age, maybe a little like early 30s maybe, but he was like, I'm here to do all the New York shit. And I was like, great, awesome. Well, we had our like quarterly finance hangout or whatever. So we like
don't
get a
ever
budget.
Put those words together.
It was so weird. But we went to this ping pong bar, which I was like, fine, whatever.
Shit like that.
But they had beer pong, and I went, slow up.
Whoa.
Hey, fam, I got it. So my boss was like, you wanna be my team? And I was like, absolutely. And so we were just beating the fuck out of these accountants and finance people because we went to college, obviously.
Okay, well, no. A lot of these people went to college, but
we went to college. We went to college, you know, and we were just killing it. But so my boss is kind of like an accountant. He's a good accountant once you loosen him up, but
I like how you're using that as if it's like a slur. You're like, he's an accountant. You know, like an accountant.
I mean, like, I'm an accountant, but I'm an accountant. He's an accountant sometimes.
Yours has like sparkles around it.
Yeah, but you get him a few drinks, he's getting sparkles. But then there's finance people, which are different because they're a little more social and can like hang out. And there are 2 finance people that I really vibe with. So they were there. And then eventually everyone left except 5 of us. My boss, the 2 finance people, and then this other like accountant.
That's enough to have some fun.
This real accountant though. But we're like, let's do shots. So we start doing shots. We start like alcohol's flowing. And one of
Is this still on the company budget?
Yes, this part is.
Love.
So we're doing shots at this ping pong place, ordering drinks. And then one of my finance friends, she just dumped her boyfriend. So I'm like, we got to go out, girl, because now you're single. We got to go shake ass. And so my boss was like, what if we did karaoke? And I was like, I personally hate karaoke because like I'm not going to sing, but New York has those like private room karaoke.
Yeah. So
I was like, whatever the fuck, I'll go. My God, was it a time? We were buying bottles. We were getting lit. I know. I was like, I don't know who we are, but
bottles
this is so fun.
At karaoke? Crazy.
The best part was I don't sing. So everyone's like, you got to sing something. And there were 2 mics. And I was like, put on No Hands by Waka Flocka. I can rap that. And me and my boss rapped it. It was the weirdest. Now the fact that I like rapped Waka Flocka with my boss.
What our this is a night that our old company would have.
It gave our old company vibes. And then we're like, I was shaking ass in this karaoke. I want to be so clear. I haven't shook ass like that in a long time. And then we're walking out. My boss is like, I'm hungry. Let's go to Korean barbecue, which I just found out today cost us over $500 amongst the 5 of us. So that one hurt. I was too drunk to question it.
Wait, and that wasn't on the company dime.
No, neither was karaoke. But we got more lit, of course. And then me and this guy, who's my neighbor, one of the finance guys, we had to take the train home and then walk.
The one you told me about when I was in town?
No.
Does it goes to your coffee shop?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. Me and him were shaking ass, dude.
Yes,
I was literally like, if you weren't a coworker, I would fall in love with you. Like, I think you're my soulmate. But then
you said vibes were high. Like,
vibes are high.
Like, friendly, fun.
Like, Fred, he gives West from Summer House vibes. We're like, I could easily fall in love if I'm not careful. So we like take the train back. It's now 2 a.m. and the 2 of us have to walk home together. And so now vibes are different and we have the deepest conversation for 15 minutes on the way home. Like we were just opening them up and then we hugged and we went, okay, bye. And then we have not seen each other since.
That's where I shame spiral because I'm like, what did I say?
No, I don't
get too personal? Oh my God. I get so nervous after moments like that.
I didn't care. The worst part, I went in the office. He was hiding in like a room all day. And I was like, I don't know if you're shamed, but I thought vibes were good. Yeah. He might be embarrassed at how hard we shook ass, but
oh my God,
whatever. It was awesome. It was the funniest thing. I
love that.
It really did make me miss it gave before COVID going out with coworkers because it's different now.
People are asking for it now, and I'm like, I can get a group together. Like, just let me warn my manager, and we can start some fun.
Our old company, man, we would go to Tiki Hut all the fucking time.
All the time.
Every Thursday, we were like, should we hit up Tiki Hut again?
My problem now is that when I work happy hour, we go way too hard in the paint. We're like, we can't do it for another 3 months because we all got way too drunk. Like, it just hurts the body. Like, we can't just be chill because we're not doing it as often.
Yeah.
That we're just like going to the max. So I need to remind people to have 4 glasses of wine, not 17.
I feel like at our company, we got real drunk. We were just used to it more.
But we were also like drinking beer at a Tiki Hut, like my coworkers, we all drink wine together.
Oh yeah,
literally
terrible.
We'll drink like 4 bottles amongst 3 people, and it's like, all right, maybe we didn't need to do that.
You got to get drunk off beer because it hits different. Then we're trashy together. Oh my God, Hook and Ladder, shout out! I'll never hate that place. If it ever goes under, that might be my 13th reason.
I only hate it late at night on a weekend when I shouldn't be there.
No, terrible. But on a weekday on Thursday for happy hour, that is.
Man, do I need to go to Hook and Ladder tomorrow? Because we're recording this on a Wednesday, everybody. Join Patreon. You could have had it in time to know if I went to happy hour.
You should, because it's the best place. Every time I go past it, actually, one of my friends just came back to Chicago for the first time in like 7 years. And so I was like just driving her around Lincoln Park, and I was like, and that's Hook and Ladder. That's my favorite place I've ever been to. And I can only go with my old coworkers there, or else it like doesn't hit the same.
It's a great day bar to watch sports at.
Oh, I'm sure. Too bad we were always at work.
No, but that's what I do now when I go there. And it's so fun.
I wish we were also at that old company. We should have been like, hey, during March Madness, we all go work at a bar.
That's because
our company would have been down. Well, yeah, but imagine like our whole company being like, and to Hook and Ladder we go.
I will say what did help with our old company is they did put the TVs in the common area.
They did.
2 games, and we all had at least on my team, we all had our own iPads, so we were watching games.
Agreed. Like no other. But imagine we just had alcohol with that.
You know what? Especially like just Thursday afternoon, make it a happy hour. Afternoon. Leave at like 3. You know, like, okay, fine, we're not going to watch the 11 a.m. games at a bar, but we could have watched those late afternoon ones.
Yeah, bring your computer if you gotta. Because we also had there were less Zoom calls. We were all just talking in person.
Yes.
So like we could have just had meetings.
Yeah, I only had calls with clients, and that was like maybe once a week. We really overdid it on calls during COVID.
The good times was 2017 to 2019. That was the time. Anyway,
we'll give it to the people who were working for us before us. They were having a good time as well.
We just did. I don't know for sure, though. I can't confirm nor deny. Great.
Yeah, that was the time.
Do you have any news? Because I have news.
None. Let her rip.
Do you want to start with good news or bad news?
Let's start with bad and end with some good. Because I think the bad will be funnier.
Okay. So the devil himself got married in Venice.
Oh my God. I was like, which devil? When you said the devil himself, I was like, Nick Viall is already married.
Sadly.
Alicia.
So Jeff Bezos got married in Venice. But shout out to the Italians who are protesting it.
They had to move the wedding last minute. Yeah. Also,
to a military base, which is hilarious.
Sidebar about prenups. They had to postpone their wedding for an entire year because they couldn't agree on the prenup.
My God. Remember the last one he had? He fucked that up pretty bad.
Well, that was a starter from the bottom. Great on, what's her name, Mackenzie?
Good for her. Yeah.
I forget her last name. Good on her.
Good on her. She believed in her man, and she said, if you cheat on me, though, I get half. That was the best part. She's like, you have nothing, but I believe in you. So here's what we're going to do.
I will support you to build up.
I'm here forever,
a company
baby.
that exploits other people so I can have billions of dollars and use it correctly.
Hey, the devil works hard, but Jeff Bezos' ex-wife works harder. I love it. I'm here for it. Anyway, I do want to, there were a lot of guests that went, and I think we should shame them all. I'm not a fan of any of them anymore. I will unfollow. Some of y'all might be like, that's drastic. It's the only way I know to fight, okay? I have to fight the way I know how to fight.
I was about to say, like, listen, you are not entitled to my support. I get to wield it the way I want to. Same with, like content creators who don't say nothing in this environment. Like, you're silent. That's your choice. But my choice is to follow you. You make money off of my interest.
So all the Kardashians, obviously, we knew were trash, but they just get trashier.
I thank God I stopped watching their show. I will say their show was very interesting in the early days, fascinating. But like,
the early days were fascinating.
Yeah, but like they've sucked for a while now. Yeah. I don't understand how their audience is okay just like handing over their money to someone. If like that's all you need me for is to buy your products, I'm done here.
I'm going to say it. Their products aren't that good. Skims, the worst thing I've ever bought in my life.
Skims bras are good.
The actual shapewear isn't.
Vouch for those.
Don't buy them though. Everyone
But
stop.
Also what are the options? Victoria's Secret, it's
all terrible.
The bra industry sucks across the board. But anyways, terrible. I digress.
And this is why we go no bras. Anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio tried to hide his face, but we got him. We got him, Leo.
That made me more embarrassed for him.
And you're dead to us. Guess what?
Say it with your chest, bitch. Attend that wedding. Come on.
Glad you died on that Titanic, because never again. Never again will I support.
We'll never defend the, he could have fit on the door theory.
Leave him off. She knew. She knew
what she was doing.
She was like, in 20 years' time, people will be thanking me for this. And you're right, girl. Sydney Sweeney, terrible. Girl, what? How do you even know Jeff Bezos, first of all? How do you know? And second of all, what are you doing here? That was the weirdest one. Like the Kardashians, fine. Leonardo DiCaprio, fine. Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, but with some of these people, do you think that, like, people who are rich want to be associated with people who are popular, and so then they, like, seek out friendships because they have money and access to also be in the commentary with those people? Does that make sense?
You pick Sydney Sweeney?
I know,
that
but
was
she's
a weird
like,
one.
No, but, like, she's being talked about a lot. Like, she is, like, an actress right now.
I guess, but her most recent scandal is that she's selling her bathwater and soap. So, like...
Okay, whoa, what?
Oh, you don't know about that? Oh, hilarious. Yeah, she did this ad where she's like, I'm selling my bathwater for men and it's in soap. I actually don't know if it's, like, for real or if it was a gag, but she did the commercial. So.
I love that.
It's so weird. But... Like,
no, take men's money, please. They need less of it.
But stop supporting Jeff Bezos. So
agreed.
Someone, a liberal, please sell your bathwater to men. Please do that. I also want another shock, because I didn't realize they suck, was Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, I knew she sucked. Did you not see the whole Miami scandal whenever Maui burned?
No, what happened?
Oh my God. She was, like, asking people to donate money to her, like, foundation, I believe. And people were like, you're Oprah fucking Winfrey. Why don't you fucking pay for this?
Yikes.
It was weird. There was weird stuff when Maui burned.
Oprah, I'm out. I'm out on you. Gayle King, I was already out on Gayle because she went to space.
She's always been bought and sold for, like, with friendship. But yeah, when she went to space, that was an obvious indicator that she'd be at the wedding.
Also, Katy Perry's ex-husband, Orlando Bloom, was there. They broke up,
but
and
not
he
Katy Perry.
No, because they broke up. They broke up.
I know, but, like, I'm sorry. If you and I are breaking up, and I went on, if I'm already terrible and I went to space for 5 seconds and kissed the ground, this wedding is nothing with my ex.
Actually, you held a daisy.
So sorry. That was such hard work.
Final few people, Carly Kloss, that's a surprising one because I thought she was a Swiftie, but also Taylor Swift's been seen with some conservatives, so I don't know.
Carly Kloss and her are not friends anymore.
Well, yeah, because of Gaylor, right?
Yeah, there was maybe a breakup, but Carly Kloss has cosplayed as, like, a good liberal for a while, but, like...
A lot of those. Look
at her in-laws. Look at her
you're right.
Like, on both sides. Like,
you're right. Bill Gates, we knew was terrible, but I thought, like, he wasn't the most terrible, you know?
You know, he is one of the better, like, billionaires, but just because you're the best of the worst doesn't make you good.
Yeah, it's true. And someone I personally have hated for a long time, so I'm glad he went because I don't have to add him to a list. He was already there. Tom Brady. Goodbye. See ya. See ya never. Love that one. So yeah, those were just some fun, notable names. Okay. Next on my list, I only have 3 things I want to talk about. I'm going to go with really good. So New York had a mayoral race. And Zoran Mamdani is the Democratic nominee. He beat out stupid Andrew Cuomo. Who the fuck invited that guy back?
Who had billions of dollars backing him.
Oh my God, Mike Bloomberg, Bill Clinton, both of you die. You're not even relevant. And then also beat out weirdo Eric Adams, hilarious. But both of those weirdos are going to be running for mayor as independents now. So New York City.
Cuomo, I thought, removed himself.
Cuomo's probably going to try to run as an independent.
I heard he removed himself.
From the Democratic race.
I thought he was removing himself in general. And I was like, way to do one thing right.
Listen, I'm on because I campaigned for Zoran. I'm on the list, and they're like, just be warned, this psycho might come back. So
okay, that's true.
That's true. We can't
let our guard down, to be honest. Like,
never, not around white men. Terrible. But I love Zoran Mamdani. He's going viral on TikTok.
Great.
He's the best. I absolutely am obsessed with him. I think he's so funny. Just if you're in New York, please, please, please look into Zoran Mamdani. He's just the greatest.
That was just the primary. Like, we got the real election in the fall, right?
Yes, I think November. So please, please, please. I voted without a New York license for the primary, and I will be voting with my New York license coming up in this fall because I'm going to get it.
Look at you.
So please, please, please. And the other thing I love is that I literally went into work the last day of voting. And I was like, did everyone vote? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, for Zoran Mamdani? Because I'm not fucking around.
That's true.
I don't care if it's work. We're talking life here. We're all voting Zoran Mamdani. And if you don't, you're crazy. Anyway.
I like that. I think my next move needs to just be shaming the non-voters, because I think shaming people into action will help change the world. Because I have to believe that majority of the world is not terrible people, but they're just inactive.
Oh, if you voted for Brad, that's okay too, because he endorsed Zoran.
Was he the number 2 guy?
And Zoran endorsed him. Yeah, they were cute. They were cuties. Anyway, so that last piece of news, and then I'll wrap it up. Paige and AZ are official.
Alicia, I saw that photo of her in the photo case, and I was like, oh, Alicia's already seen this. I won't send it. But then I was kind of waiting for you to send it to me.
No, I wanted this.
And then I got worried, but I was like, no, there's no way.
There's no way.
I love it.
These two
what a great way.
So upset. So this is the funniest part. I love people speculating online. So basically, now that they don't go to college together, right? They can be together, but they keep dropping like mini hints, and people kept being like, they're probably not together. They're probably not together. They have rings of each other's birthstones. I don't know who finds this shit out. I find it on TikTok, and I'm like, fast.
Bless those people.
You know, I love to spread rumors. So I was like, amazing. Yeah. They have birthstone rings of each other. That's weird to do if you're not dating. Just heads up, right? And then AZ went, it was like a Friday, AZ went to Paige's game in her literal jersey, not the jersey you buy online, like her actual jersey, because there's patches. Someone told me that online. I don't know. But they're like
game like worn jersey, I bet.
Yeah. Paige sweating it and handed it to her girl to wear for the game, I bet. So they're watching it, and everyone's like, it's so nice for AZ Fudd to be here cheering on her best friend. Like, they still
here's the thing, they're slowly leveling it up to be like, guys, come on. But so without having a physical quote in a magazine, because once you start talking to press, you're never gonna stop.
Well, once they lay it all out there, it's fair game for the press to then ask them about it. So they'll never confirm it. They'll never be like, we are dating
with their
each
words.
Other.
They're clearly showing it with their actions, though. But people are not, like, obviously, like, you're getting it. The people who get it. But I think it's so funny because they're just slowly leveling up their actions to be like, come on, like, let's stop discussing if it isn't or isn't. Like, it's happening.
It is.
Leave us alone.
Well, you also never get them kissing. You'll never get them with like an anniversary. It's not going to happen because then that opens up.
Because then it sensationalizes it too. Yes. And like people are going to, even if like an accidental photo gets out, it's like paparazzi's going to be chasing them for the first paid for photo type of thing.
Yeah, that, and like there have been like
some leaks.
It was yes, the leaks. But there also was like one of the teammates was on TikTok live and accidentally got them like kissing. And so like, okay, yes, we saw that and like, okay, great. But the press still can't technically ask them about it because they didn't say anything. So like, I think out of respect, the media is not going to like bring it up to Paige in a press conference and be like, please talk about AZ. Like unless they were to say it anyway. So then the next day, AZ posts the phone case photo where it says Paige
she's
Becker's
like getting
girlfriend.
Her hair done. Yeah, and she's taking a photo in the mirror.
Paige Becker's girlfriend, which was extra funny because everyone was like, AZ's pissed. Y'all keep calling her like her best friend. Like just literally
let
stop.
It be.
It's just say girlfriend and be done with it. And then the next day, AZ was at Paige's game. But this was my favorite part. So they were playing Washington, D.C. Yeah. Yes. Paige was playing Washington, D.C. AZ shows up in just like a white shirt because she has friends on both sides. And Paige must have had to wash her jersey or something. I don't know. But one of the players on Washington, who's a big fan of AZ Fudd, she's from Australia, but like has always been a fan and like has made that known. She's out with an ACL injury. So she literally walks with her jersey, high fives Paige, is like, hey, what's up, girl? Goes to AZ, gives AZ her jersey. AZ puts it on, no problem. And then Paige is warming up and she sees it and she's like, are you seriously wearing that? And AZ just laughs. She wears it the whole game. It's so funny.
It's
and
like, everyone you didn't give me a jersey.
Everyone was like, my God, are you sure they're dating? And I was like, that's so funny, y'all. Stop, leave these two alone. I'll leave them alone. It's so good. I love the drama. I want
the TikTok lore, like people recounting what happened and telling me the story of it with the jersey and stuff, but I don't need media asking them questions.
Us on TikTok being like, that's so funny, she wore the jersey. I don't need the media to ask about it. I'll infer whatever I want to infer.
From Ohio asking at a press conference.
Listen, whatever I want to infer is what I'm going to infer, and that is hilarious. So, but also everyone's very excited because AZ's summer sessions, I don't know, you know how they have summer practice?
Yeah.
Those are apparently over soon. So everyone's like, is she going to go to Dallas? And I'm like, ooh, I can't wait. AZ Watch is on TikTok. Thank God that I'm not one of, like, I just get it on my feed and then I'm like, oh, how interesting. Thank you for feeding this to me. Imagine the people who like take these videos and like analyze. Couldn't be me.
I can't keep up with something every day. As I have a podcast about stuff like this. But I feel like there's no one thing we track every day.
People are literally zooming in on their fingers and going, is that the birthstone of her girlfriend? Dude, no. I would look right through that. I wouldn't even think about it.
You have to watch every story. Like, you have to have, like, alerts on for every time these people post and screenshot it and research and all.
Crazy. I don't have time.
I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Someone once
no shame on it. Thank you for making the video.
I watch it. Yeah, but Paige once, someone asked, like a meteor, someone asked her, like, how do you feel about all the TikTok edits getting made? Because let me tell you, I was on Thirst TikTok of Paige Beckers for a while, and that was creepy. But she was like, yeah, no, it's great I have fans, but like, some of these people must have a lot of videos of me. And I was like, that's crazy to think about. Yeah.
You have files? Okay, yeah. I have some files about the shows we watch.
You're not thirst trapping it.
Well, I actually have been thinking about making one about how hot Sierra is.
That's
from
legal.
Summer House.
We'll allow. But
I basically made a thirst trap of all of her costumes on TikTok, but like that was just like pure love and adoration for the effort she puts in.
Of course. But yeah, so WNBA drop, that's not even the best of it. That was just the Paige and AZ, but I feel like I should like update y'all on that because we've been here a while.
And Alicia sent me a TikTok that somebody had made saying that they are the next Love and Basketball story. And it's
we thought of that.
We said this first.
Listen, though, I have the book down. I could write it. I could write you an outline right now of the book I want.
We have the verbal dissertation in multiple episodes from this spring.
We built it from the bottom. We know where the problem is with this Love and Basketball. We don't really know where it ends, and there's really no conflict
where we have to take some liberties.
We'd have to write in the conflict, which I find would be interesting because I love an injury in a sports novel, so I'm here for it. And they have tons of injuries to pick from. 10 out of 10. Also, wait, someone on, like a basketball player in the W, I forget who, on their live, people were like freaking out that AZ posted her phone case story. And everyone was like, oh my God, can you believe Paige and AZ are dating? And someone was like, y'all are late. It's been like 2 years. And I was cracking up. I was like, that the way they hit it is amazing. But the way people knew also is amazing.
The people who knew.
Yeah.
You either get it or you don't.
Yeah, but yeah, amazing. I love that the basketball community knew. Like, I love that the women were like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh my God, you're going to get pissed off by this, but I saw a post the other day and it was like, it had like 3 rows and 4 pictures in each row. And it was just like a bunch of basketball players, men and women. And it was like the first row, you know, the prompt was like, you have $200 to spend on like a dinner for like people. And it was like $100 row, a $50 row, $25 row. Paige was in the $25 row. And so many of the comments were like, just Paige. Like, I don't even need to spend all my money, just Paige.
I got not a fight this weekend with some guy, but like the girls and I were banging our head against the wall to fight this man.
What is the day that ends in Y?
He was like, Caitlin Clark's the best guard in the league. And I was like, that's not true. I think she's the most liked. I think she's the most popular. I think she's the only one that can hit a logo three as many times as she can.
But like she's such a good shooter.
She's very talented, but as a full guard, I don't think she's the best in the league. He's like, who do you think it's Paige? And I was like, no, I don't even think it's Paige. But there are better guards. And he kept telling us how Caitlin Clark's the best guard in the world. Have we seen her pass? I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, this was my favorite. He goes, she does these amazing passes, but her teammates just can't catch them. And I go, well, then that's not a good pass if your teammate can't catch it. You're just, who are you passing? Who are you, fuck? Yeah, she does these awesome, really hard passes. Her teammates are the ones that fuck it up. They just can't catch it.
What? That means you're not in sync with your teammate.
That means it's not
a two-way street there, but...
The point of the guard is to pass to their teammate.
To the person.
Not pass, and then the person needs to go get the ball. Like,
that's
cohesive.
You're out of sync, yeah.
Yeah, I was literally like, how do you not comprehend?
The one person who is constantly going viral for something... And if that's the only person you know, you can never guarantee that they're the best at something. If you only can, like, if that's your only viewpoint is one person.
Yeah, I do. Oh, can I fight one more time? Because I'm taking down MAGA one step at a time. Fuck this woman. Anyway, this person on Caitlin Clark's team, which I think Caitlin Clark should say something. I think her name, image, and likeness is going down amongst the liberals. There's this girl on Caitlin's team, nicknamed MAGA Barbie. Terrible.
I've seen.
Have I talked about
online?
Her?
No, I've seen the nickname online, but I'm like, I can't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like, I can't go down the rabbit hole myself. So please tell me.
Her name's MAGA Barbie. Her name's Sophie Cunningham. She is a C-list player on Caitlin Clark's team, but she's going viral for all this stuff she does, right?
Yeah, keep going. No, keep going.
She's been recently wearing Dave Portnoy made shirts that's titled the Tres Leches, which is just the three white girls on the team, which includes Caitlin Clark. And I think Caitlin Clark should fucking sue because terrible. But we all know Dave Portnoy loves this team.
I know this girl because she went to Mizzou. She's been all over my feed lately.
She's terrible, dude. And people might be like, what qualifies her as MAGA Barbie? She was reposting all this Donald Trump shit in 2024. That makes so much
sense because all these people I know from Missouri have been posting about her.
About good or bad?
Like, they're hyped on her.
To replay. So recently, the WNBA announced they're expanding to cities such as Detroit and Cleveland, to which I don't know why we're interviewing MAGA Barbie because all she does is bench time, but okay. The press was like, hey, what do you think of the W expanding? And she's like, no, I think it's great, but I think that the WNBA should ask the players where they want to go, like Miami or Nashville. I just don't know if anyone's going to be excited to watch sports in Detroit or Cleveland. And everyone was like, ma'am.
Also, business-wise, we're not going to ask where you want to go work. We're going to ask what will make money. Where is their interest? What can hold a team?
If you don't want to go to Cleveland, you can quit the WNBA.
Very true. There's the door, bitch.
Yeah, bye. Here's the thing, though. LeBron James basically built his career in Cleveland for a while there.
Huge basketball
Huge basketball city. Also, have you never heard of the Detroit Pistons? The Detroit Lions? Also, Detroit used to have a team, and they won many a WNBA championships. So I don't know. Also, you play in Indianapolis. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Detroit's a bet. Sorry. I like Detroit better than I like Indianapolis. I've never been to Cleveland, so I can't. But I imagine it's on a lake. Everyone was like, why are you you're in Indianapolis. You like it?
Also, like, it's not guaranteed you're gonna go there. Again, if you don't want to go to these cities, then, like, go elsewhere. Go find a different job.
The Hunger Games are about to happen, because what I found out is when you have expansion teams, your team only saves like 6 people, and the rest are like up for grabs. Oh, hilarious. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So Sophie Cunningham, expect a one-way trip.
Actually, that's so true.
And I hope she goes, because now these cities are going to hate her, because the literal cities of Detroit and Cleveland both tweeted at her and were like, excuse us.
That's what I saw too. Yeah. I saw Cleveland. Okay, this all makes way more sense.
Cleveland, yeah.
I saw the city of Cleveland's tweet and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
and again, I was like, I'm not ready to go down.
Well, a year ago, I think like Caitlin Clark did some WNBA stuff in Cleveland. I don't remember exactly what, but someone asked, like, how's your trip to Cleveland? And she was like, I love it. You know, LeBron James, like, this is a great city. It reminds me of my hometown, Des Moines, Iowa, which if you're from the Midwest, you know. But she's like, no, it's amazing. I've been here a week and there's still so much to do. So then Cleveland tweeted that and was like, your teammate didn't think it was such a bad city, Sophie Cunningham. So
what a bitch.
I hope Ohio votes blue in the next election, because I do hate Ohio for voting red. But this is who you associate with, someone who hates your city. So you should remember this the next time you go to the polls. Anyway.
I mean, our own politicians hate most of our cities. So let's remember that.
Except Zoran Mamdani, baby. He loves it here.
In the Midwest, most of our politicians hate our own cities.
For sure, all of them hate. But I also laughed because I was like, Sophie Cunningham doesn't know what Des Moines, Iowa is, nor has she ever been to Iowa. Well, actually, if she's from Missouri, maybe.
Well, she went to Mizzou. I don't know where she's from. Let's see.
She has a little twang to her, so maybe she's a little more. But you go to the Midwest.
No. She was born in Columbia, Missouri. That's where Mizzou is.
So she's from Missouri. She went to college in Missouri. She plays in Indiana, and she's dogging on Detroit and Cleveland. All right. Make it make sense. Also, she played in Phoenix before. It's not like she's in, I don't know, Grand City. What is she? I mean, Phoenix is dope, but
more surrounded by white people than what she thinks she's going to be surrounded by in Detroit and Cleveland. And it's like, girl.
Cleveland? Really? I think, isn't Ohio kind of white? I don't know. I've only been to Columbus, to be honest.
Cleveland, I don't know much about.
I've never been.
I think these are her ideas. These are like inner cities, and her poor little white skin is going to be attacked.
Better watch out in Detroit. Actually, I love Detroit. Detroit's a fun fucking city.
Listen, no. We are just out for karma. Where this expansion city shit happens. She doesn't even go. No. She doesn't even go there. She doesn't get maintained by any team. She just stops playing at all, and she has to go find whatever fucking city she wants and sit at a desk like the rest of us.
Yeah, I can't imagine the coaching staff in Detroit or Cleveland will be like, let's pick her. She dogged our city. Our fans are going to love this. Keep her in Indiana. You know what? I hope you play in Indiana the rest of your life.
Ride that bench. Yeah.
Ride that bench in Indiana, baby. Anyway, should we talk about Mormons?
Let's talk about more people we hate.
God, this was such a long reunion, dude.
Okay. I woke up, saw your TikTok about the outfits, was really pumped. Well, at first I was like, yeah, these classic girlies wearing their Shein, like, dresses. I was like, here we fucking go. This is no Bravo reunion. And I knew it never would. Like, Bravo took years to even get where it's at with reunions. So, like, we got to let Hulu start somewhere. But this was worse than I thought it would be.
This was bad. And I say it again, let Meredith and I host a reunion, because you saw exactly where Nick lies. You see exactly where he stands.
Not even with that is like, you've already interviewed all these people post-show.
That's true.
In your own reunion, basically. So like, you've already gotten a lot of answers that you think are obvious, but not every person who watches this show listens to your podcast. But Andy Cohen doesn't go into the reunions thinking every person watch What Happens Live and picks up from there. Like, he goes through and asks where people are at. And they also, Bravo knows when to, like, record their reunions versus when it's going to air and when other people are watching it. Whereas, like, Secret Lives, they don't even get the episodes in advance. Like, they're doing press and they don't even know what the episodes are.
Yeah.
And this is a month and a half later.
I forgot everything. That I also think, like, again, he showed his cards, and you're right, he did already have like outstanding relationships with these people. But I think what makes Andy really great at reunions, and why I love Bravo reunions so much, is like, even if he maybe likes one housewife better than the other, he agrees with one more than the other, he'll always play that middle really, really, really well.
And he's always kind of above them, where they do want his approval and will listen to him.
But he's very good at controlling the situation. He's very good at explaining things. And if you don't get it, he'll just like move on. But he rarely like lectures. It's more of like, do you not see what's
only when it's
like,
really bad does he need to lecture someone.
Only when Teresa pushes him down does he wave a finger in her face. But like, yeah, and it just wasn't. These women are just like not fun. They're not interested.
And I don't know if it was like Nick prepared the questions or Hulu prepared the questions, or like if it was just edited weird, but like overall it feels like this was thrown together. The questions weren't prepared. There was no flow. There was no point.
There was no flow. We didn't really hit on anything important.
No. Alicia, my takeaway after watching this whole thing is we basically saw a bunch of bonus clips that don't really matter. Now they don't matter. We can't really talk about things because we're filming season 3 and this stuff was so long ago. It's kind of pointless or being handled in season 3. And like nobody was pushed for like any accountability or like stayed on topic.
Yeah, it was weird. All right, so let's start. We start with a prayer at the top of the episode.
I didn't even write about that.
Funny.
Because I was like, I forgot they're Mormon.
It was and it was Zach leading it. Zach leading the pack.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then we had like, so while they're all getting ready, we find out Demi is not coming. Half the cast is fucking pregnant.
Which, that was crazy. I'm sorry. I believe it was a scheduling issue for Demi. Like,
yeah.
Like, why is she going to come? Slightly valid reason. But, like, why isn't Hulu trying to do more to get her in this? Like, felt even more rushed that she said, I couldn't come this one day or these, like, 4 days. And they were like, well, we got to do without you then.
That, and, like, then why would, because we get clips of Demi from Nick Viall's podcast. Wasn't that just his podcast? That wasn't like a separate.
They must have done. It was separate.
Oh, okay. So he didn't release that on his page?
No, I bet Hulu owns that.
Okay,
but like,
that's fair.
All of it branded as his podcast was so weird.
It was so weird. And it's Dakota's first time in a suit, which I just thought was probably the most interesting part of this whole reunion, honestly. That was the most interesting thing we learned, was that Dakota's never been to a funeral. He's never had to wear a suit before. He's never been to a school dance. He's never had to wear a suit. I don't know what the Mormons do.
Wait,
anyway.
Yeah. What is he? I guess you don't really wear a suit to like church every Sunday, but still never.
Yeah, do Mormons not have school dances?
You've never been to somebody else's wedding?
He's never worn a suit before. I found it fascinating. Anyway, so then we see my nemesis. I'm going to be so angry.
No, I almost put a Post-it note over the center of my TV. I had to get up and start walking around while watching this because I couldn't just sit down and watch him do this. Do it, not only just watch him, but do it terribly too.
Terribly, yeah. So everyone goes out to the reunion except Jen. She's not out, which
I know she was only in half the season, but still. She was in season 1. I felt like we were going back to both seasons. So like, why was she removed?
I took it as she's not a part of Mom Talk. I
don't know. Again, this makes nothing made sense. No decision ever made sense to me. I found it so weird that they were constantly showing us people backstage too. They show us Jen and Zach reacting to everything, and the dads.
Oh my God, that's all we saw. We saw that more than the actual women.
Yes.
We spent more time with dad talk. I don't
get the point of this. Was this a reunion for the ladies? Season 1 and season 2? Or was this just like, let's put another episode out so we can sell some ad dollars?
I don't know. But right off the bat, Nick thanks Layla for ending one of the most dramatic seasons of reality TV history.
Wait a minute.
To which I said, this man's never watched reality TV a day in his life.
Also, No, 100% agree. And he was part of the Bachelor franchise, and some of those ended in some pretty crazy ways with like people swapping the partner that they chose.
Well, his main thing now is he watched Vanderpump Rules. And remember when Sandoval punched Jax in the face at Sheena's engagement party? That was the end of a season. That was more dramatic than this.
What about just Rachel and Raquel
that's what I thought
being
of.
honest even at the end of a reunion and like finally coming like clean? That's the thing. He always does shit like this. Whoever he's in front of, it's like, oh my God, you're the most amazing person.
Yeah, he has
you can be like, wow, that was a great ending, because I do agree. Like, wow, that had some shock and awe, and that really did set up season 3 beautifully. Like, I was ready for season 3, but the most shocking, it was a conversation.
It was weird. Yeah, so it was like that, what's his name? Marciano talking to Layla about how he hooked up with Jesse and not Demi. It also it was cut weird because at one point I was like, who are we talking about? Demi or Jesse?
I agree.
What's happening?
I just don't think Hulu has the people in place to create good reality TV right now.
And I'm just saying, you could hire us and we would help.
No, but like, my cousin who's in the industry has said that like people try to start their careers at Bravo and then go elsewhere. What I am seeing is nobody who's working on these production companies with Hulu has ever worked at Bravo. Like you clearly, nobody on your team has any Bravo experience.
Never watched Bravo.
Or Peacock, like,
no, nothing.
Or honestly, Netflix is good at reality TV. Like,
oh, great.
They do great in the editing booth. Yeah. Like, but like, Hulu, what the fuck are you doing?
Terrible. Yeah, so it's like so if we first have to talk about Demi flirting with Marciano, what's his name?
Marciano.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
And they read the text from Demi to this man.
Those were crazy.
But also, like, it was weird, but it wasn't, like, damning.
I think that's what's confusing, are people just saying she was like flirting inappropriately and just being inappropriate, or is it that something
is she
happened?
Cheating? Yeah,
because that's what I also agree. I don't understand what's happening, but I think that like Brett doesn't know about these texts and is going to be pissed, and like I'm like, damn, like, yeah. That's something to air out here.
Yes, it is. It's weird to text like another man pictures of oysters and being like, it's like taking down cum. That's weird. But if you're like, that's cheating, is it? It's just weird. Like, it's just a weird
I think it's just inappropriate conversation. Like, I don't think it's cheating, but like, Brett has a right to be upset about it.
Sure, but they're not even here, so I don't know why we're discussing
No,
this.
I agree. I think people are trying to clear their name, but it's like, what is the accusation? Like, women haven't set forth an accusation, especially Jen. I'm like, Jen, you claim all this stuff happened, and you have receipts, and you want to string a clear sentence together, my darling. Like, what do you think happened? What are you claiming happened? Put the claim out there.
I will say, in the back, Jen and Zach are watching, and Jen's like, what does the clam emoji mean? And Zach's like, I think it means like...
No, like, this is why I was pissed that they were showing us
I think it means like a pussy. And she goes, goodness me. Like, she clutches her
She's
pearl.
like, I missed that. No.
How I've never...
Why are we talking about this topic this early and Jen's not there? Jen was part of this stuff. She was in Italy with the people. Like, this is what I'm saying. There was no plan on the topics being discussed, because we shouldn't have this topic being discussed when Jen's not on the stage.
Yeah, and truly...
And we circle back to it later.
Truly, like, grow up, okay? Yeah, clam means your pussy.
Yeah, but I think part of the lore of these ladies is that they're, like, so emotionally mature and dating wise behind.
Oh my God.
Like, that didn't bother me. I'm just like, we're having a half conversation. Again, nobody will say the accusation. We're reading these texts, and I will tell you a pet peeve of mine is when production companies for reality TV alter how texts look, because I'm like, this looks fake to me now. Like, why are we coming up with our own formatting of how texts are going to look? Just throw the fucking screenshot up there.
Yeah, it looked crazy. But then basically they're like, Whitney, what do you think of these texts? And Whitney's like, first of all, I was like, I don't care what Whitney thinks of these texts. She made it very clear. She's like, these aren't great texts, but like, that's my friend. I don't want to like believe this is happening. Everyone's like, no, you have to damn her to hell. And I was like,
this really has nothing to do with Whitney. Like, she wasn't there in Italy. Like, she wasn't a part of these texts. She didn't get the texts. She hasn't read the text. Like, why does she have to answer for Demi because Demi didn't show up today?
That annoyed me that they were like, Whitney, you have to admit this is wrong. And I was like, who the fuck? Why does Whitney have to?
We're a weird pickle because if she defends her friend, it's like, oh, okay, you're okay with cheating.
Yeah. Well, Nick kept looking at her and being like, come on, Whitney. Don't
Nick
you think
hates Whitney. Listen,
Whitney
I think Whitney's in the wrong for a lot, but like off the bat, it's like, Whitney, you're in the wrong constantly. Whitney, you need to answer for things you didn't do.
Listen,
Whitney.
He made me like Whitney better because anyone on Nick Viall's
I felt bad for her.
I did too. And I liked that at some point she called him out and was like, I feel like you're really attacking me. And he's like, do you think that, Whitney? And I was like, Jesus Christ, you're 80 years old, my guy. Calm down.
He acts like he's in the drama with them. Like he deserves an apology. He deserves accountability. Because he's wedged himself into this weird, like he's put himself in the middle of the show because he's interviewed all of them after the show came out. Now you're redoing it all, but you're part of the drama. You're part of some of the hatred because people say things on your podcast and you asked the crazy questions. Like, this isn't like Watch What Happens Live where a fan wrote in and you're just reading it and delivering it. Like, you're stirring the pot with these ladies, agreeing with them when they're on your show and then taking it back when the next one's there.
This man is so weird and pathetic, dude. So weird and pathetic. Anyway, so we also talk about how Jessie doesn't have a ring on. Her and Jordan are going through hard times, but we'll find out about it in season 3.
Why did we... Okay, I get asking a question, but why did we leave this clip in just for it to get an on-answer?
Because this is how they promote it. They're like, tune in.
Am I the only one who was like, I'm already interested in season 3? You ended with the craziest moment ever, as Nick Viall said, in season 2 with like, we know the Marciano drama is gonna be talked about. So like, why are we asking a question we can't answer? Or again, this is still with the same production company. Why aren't we having Jessie give a canned response that we all approved of? We can edit it later if we don't like her, make her redo it if we don't like it. Show us a clip from the upcoming season where her and Jordan start to discuss it and cut out the good part. Like, actually tease us. We're kind of in the middle of season 3. That's your fucking choice, Hulu. This was all your choice on planning.
Looks directly in the camera and check it out on season 3.
Swipe up and subscribe. Like, that's what it felt like.
It was
so
swipe up and
weird.
Subscribe. So that was it. That was awesome.
Like, she's on some other show where, like, they're trying to get the scoop and she can't give it. Like, you can give it, Hulu.
Yeah, legally I can't talk about it. Yes, you can.
What do you mean legally? This is the same show you're on. So I'm going to do that. The next time you ask me a question, I'm going to go, legally, I can't really talk about it because I have a podcast.
The fuck? Yeah, hilarious. Okay, so then Taylor talks about the swinging scandal some more, which...
My God! Why are we talking about this?
Wait. This was the best Dare commercial ever because she's talking about how they were all hooking up, blah, blah, blah. There was a big orgy. And then she goes, that's what happens when you mess with alcohol. And I went, put it on a shirt. Put it on a Dare shirt. Go to 13-year-olds in school.
That would encourage the kids more. That would encourage the kids more.
It was so funny.
So graphic. I was shocked because again, we've heard this 4,200 times by this point. And I was crazy. Like,
this woman's off her rocker. The fact that she repeatedly said some other woman was sucking her husband's cock is crazy.
I was cock, you're right. I was like...
She said cock so many times. I was like...
This was the only time I loved seeing the boys' reaction because Dakota was like, Jesus!
Yeah, they all fucking freaked out. But I will say, Taylor has the emotional maturity of a 14-year-old. This woman is...
and I love it.
She would make me so angry in person.
Oh, I could never be friends with her, but bottle it up and sell it to every reality TV producer.
She would send me. So then I don't know what the point was of the swinging scandal, because then we talked about Lila and her orgasm with her vibrator.
Okay,
embarrassing her boyfriend can't make her come. That was crazy.
It's not like we talked about the Taylor situation and how to get into the swinging scandal again to then talk to, what is her name, Camille or whatever that new girl's name is.
Not
the blonde one.
It starts with an M. Miranda.
Where did I get Camille?
To Miranda.
That's
we didn't even talk to Miranda. Were you thinking Camille from Beverly Hills?
We are constantly bouncing from topic to topic without talking to the right party.
We didn't even talk to Miranda.
Was that an accident that topic came up, or did we edit it like this? Like, what are we doing?
Jen from the bathroom had more scenes than Miranda, who was on the couch the whole time.
You're so right. Like, no, I don't understand. The entire time I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And I actually want to hear from Miranda.
Okay, I get it. We didn't do a reunion on season 1, and so I think they're trying to do a catch-all reunion here. So I get that. I'm not thrilled we're walking through all the dick sucking again, but we need to have the context to talk to Miranda, and then it just switched to Layla, and I was like, what?
No,
what are we doing?
So then we have to talk about Whitney coming back to the group, which then Nick.
I do have to say,
what?
I do feel bad for Whitney in this, but Whitney. I love every time that they talk about Whitney coming back. They just try to embarrass her and make her feel so little. I don't love that for her, but I do find it so funny. In the greater storyline of this show, they're always like, Whitney really wants to come back, and they all just like stare at her.
Yeah, this reunion made me like Whitney more, but it was Nick's annoying. But he looks at Michaela and goes, why do you hate her? And Michaela's like, I don't hate her. I just get like really annoyed with her. And then we talk about how I can't keep track. Whitney's unfollowing everyone. She doesn't feel welcome. Michaela thinks Whitney's the problem. And then this is where Nick Viall is like, Whitney, I think you are the problem. To which I went on about a 3-line rant about how much I hate Nick Viall.
Oh my God. Wait, let me hear it.
Gotta hate Nick Viall hosting this reunion. Oh my God. That was all caps. Even if he's coming at Whitney, literally shut the fuck up, loser. No one wants drama on. Oh, cause Whitney's made a comment like, I'm happy other people are fighting and we're not fighting with me. And when he's like, or Nick was like, don't you think that's a really shitty thing to say? And when he's like, no, I didn't want the drama on me.
That's a shitty thing to say out loud, but we're at a reunion where we say these things out loud. Like, when she says that in person with other people, I'm like, okay, Whitney, shut up.
But she didn't. She said it like her interview. Problems.
I agree. I think one time she said it in person, but it was like quieter to another person. Like, thank God it's not me.
Yeah, great. Shut up.
But like, this is a reunion. We're supposed to dig it all up and be honest. So she's like, no, I was fucking pumped when other people were fighting because for the first time I wasn't on the other side of the firing squad.
And then that loser was like, don't you think that's a really mean thing to say?
He tries to therapize. That's not even a word, but like, he tries to act like a therapist with everyone, and it's like, you're not my therapist.
I made a note about that.
You need to ask open-ended questions to be like, and what did you think about that, Whitney? To direct her to like comment back, but like, that's it. Like, he interjects his thoughts and opinions about the situation every time, and not where it's gonna help see like each other's sides.
Not where it's gonna help.
Like, it did help with the Demi stuff whenever like he was talking to her one-on-one, like, especially because like that was just those two. Like, I get whenever he's doing it with Demi because you need to try and give the pushback that the ladies would probably give. But in this situation, why are we being like, Whitney, you're such a shitty person for having any type of comment?
Yeah, I made a note later where I said, oh my God, I hate Nick. Why does he hate women? Like, this isn't therapy. This is a reunion. Yeah, so I've
heard he's trying to become a therapist. And that will piss me off more if he like, I don't know what it takes to get it. If it's like you become a doctor, like what the like schooling is like and what the certification is, but that'll make it worse if he has a piece of paper.
For his podcast, he's then going to be like, welcome to therapy with Nick.
I mean, he kind of already does it.
He does it and it's bad advice.
I do like that he does hold a mirror to people who call in and ask for his advice. Like, I think that's great of him, but this is not that situation.
I think
Whitney's not calling you asking for advice, but he's acting like she is coming to him on her hands and knees begging for help.
I hate that Nick is always like, no shitty people on reality TV shows. We should be shitty on reality TV shows. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see good people going on reality TV shows.
Well, I do like how he says, like, people on reality TV show are different than the person in person.
Great, yeah.
That's a great take. But, like, yeah.
So why is he mad that Whitney makes a good reality TV comment where she's like...
He picks and chooses. He picks and chooses where he applies that.
It's classic to be like, this happens on Housewives all the time. I'm glad they're not arguing with me in it. I'll just sit back and watch. I'm glad I'm out of this argument now. And then he has the balls to look at Whitney and be like, do you see how that is really a terrible thing to say?
One of the other ladies could maybe say that, but the host of this, no. Again, it would be weird if another lady said that, but no.
It's not even a bad thing to say.
Those are the people here to fight about anything, especially irrational things. But like, Nick, what are you doing?
No, I actually hate him. Anyway, so then we have to talk about Macy, Michaela, and Whitney's friendship, which we never really hear from Macy either. She's silent the whole time. They talk about how like Whitney's like a selfish friend. She didn't feel supported. I don't know. I don't care.
This is where we get a bonus clip that I think did help, but again, they don't add context to it. It's like they filmed this reunion and then Hulu went back and was like, you know what? This clip would be kind of fun to just throw in here right now. Just like, you know, do some unseen footage and make like spice it up. But it's them sitting down right after in the first season after Whitney tells everybody about Connor's and
porn
Tinder
addiction
and the porn and people are just like, okay, because they already knew about it for like 2 years at that point. But then there's a deleted scene where Whitney is sitting down with Michaela and Macy saying like, you guys aren't supporting me. And they're like, yes, we are. And so it kind of proves that Whitney has different standards of what she wants out of her friends at that moment.
Great.
And the other two feel like they're showing up in a way and are also dealing with their own life stuff. So like both of them are right in how they're reading the situation.
No, great. Shrug. But then Nick again is like, Whitney, do you see how you're a terrible friend? And my next note is, why...
Do you see how you, like, ask a lot of people?
I was like, why does Nick hate Whitney so much? Like, my God, shut the fuck up, weirdo. That's my literal note. I hate him.
My thing is, like, Macy doesn't want... Or, sorry, Michaela. God, there's so many fucking people.
They all look alike, too.
Okay, I'm
all white women look alike. Put it on a shirt. You've heard it here first.
Michaela... in season 2 has realized she doesn't want to deal with a lot of bullshit. So why are we asking the question, like, what was the threshold for you, like Michaela, on not wanting to be friends with Whitney? Like, that would get some resolution, I think, for Whitney. Because Whitney's like, you're being mean to me all of a sudden. When it's like, Michaela's just done.
Yeah. And I don't think Whitney is in the wrong for wanting more. I don't think Michaela's in the wrong for being done. No. I think just like, don't be each other's like support, but they still could be cordial. And I think that's what everyone was missing. And instead Nick is like, let's add fire to the flame. Whitney, why do you suck?
God.
It was so weird. His hatred for Whitney was so, I'm going to look really quick on
the point of the reunion should be to get resolution and be able to move forward for the next season.
Well, they've already filmed. They've already filmed the next season.
Nick is not helping with like a resolution, or at least trying to like see a way forward where, again, like you said, they don't need to be best friends, but like they can be in this group together, and like that should be the goal. And when Whitney says, like, I'm just tired of Michaela, like, being a bully online and throwing jabs, it's like, okay, well, Whitney does that too. Like, let's be honest, she did that at the end of season 1 with her whole, like, villain stuff. And, like, they all do it because they're all chronically online. Yeah. And that is a really big nuance of this show, is they're all fighting when shit's happening and coming out and airing. Like, they're all fighting about 7 different topics all the time.
Okay,
so, like, Whitney kind of has to be okay with that.
The first 2 tweets, when I look, not tweets, sorry, I'm not on Twitter, Blue Sky posts, when I look up Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The first one is Teresa Giudice from a reunion going, but we can't go there because that's 4th season, remember? Like, we can't talk about it. And the second one is 20 minutes in and Nick Viall is a terrible host. He barely knows anything about any of them or what's even happened the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the majority here.
absolutely. But again, we talk about this topic. We get no resolution. We don't, like, we dance around it. Nick gives his opinion about how Whitney sucks. Again, it's supposed to be Michaela's opinion about how Whitney sucks, not Nick's. We don't have, like, any ending outside of Whitney being like, you're a bully.
Yeah.
And we don't even get Michaela reacting to being called a bully. I was pumped when Whitney called her a bully. I'm like, pop off. Let's talk about it, girlies. Nope, next segment.
Oh, good.
We go straight into Michaela loving coffee enemas.
There's a full Twitter account called Nick Vial and his stupid podcast. That's the name of it.
Why we shouldn't even have something like that, because, like, why are we giving that man any attention,
hilarious.
good or bad?
So yeah, everyone hates him. Anyway, great. So we have no resolution there. So then we talk about coffee enemas, which I don't remember. Was this a bonus scene?
No, this was a bonus episode. I
don't care.
Why are we getting so many? I understand if it adds context. I do think it helped with the Whitney-Michaela fight.
The coffee enema?
But we're just... No. Whenever we got the bonus clip about those three sitting down. So when it adds context, okay, fine, throw it in, but only if they, like, talked about a scene that got cut should we add it in. Why are we talking about this from season 2 that didn't make the cut and has nothing to do with the overall storyline or any of the dynamics?
Nick had the balls to look in the camera and go, Michaela may not like Whitney, but she loves coffee enemas. And I went, what the fuck is a coffee enema? Like, I straight up went, this wasn't a thing for me. And then it makes you put coffee up your ass?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just sin against God and drink it in your mouth. Like, I feel like
I understand the overall nuanced conversation of, can you put coffee up your ass?
That's funny,
even though you're not allowed to drink it. But this has nothing to do with anything. Talk about that on the show. Put that in the show.
I got so confused. These women freak me out. The more
no. This is the point where I was like, why am I watching this? If we didn't have this podcast, I would have.
Was there actual shit in that bowl?
Alicia, I'm not even going to discuss that. That was disgusting.
It was very weird.
That was horrendous.
It was very weird.
Let's get to actually something that was kind of interesting, but not at the same time.
Really quick, this is where I took a note that said Nick kind of looks like a Mormon. Doesn't he?
I was trying not to.
He kind of fit in with the cat. It's just a bunch of white people. So, like, it kind of looks like That's true. Trump rally also, but, like, it looks like the Mormon church. Like, Nick could pass.
Nick is Mormon passing?
He's Mormon passing. That's awesome. Okay, so Dakota comes out on stage.
The way those two shook hands, I was like, get the fuck off this stage. I'm done.
Oh my God.
I'm done. I felt like I was being held against my will to watch this. I had to get up and stop looking at Nick. It started pissing me off.
Man. So basically we have to relive Dakota and Taylor's relationship, which is a terribly toxic relationship. And Nick goes, if you don't mind me saying,
Alicia,
I see a lot of love between the two of you. And I went, no, break up. You hate women. You hate women if you want her in this situation.
Nick.
What therapist would be like, I know y'all are so toxic, but I see so much love.
If somebody called into his show with this exact story, he would be like, this is he's like, he sees the truth of stuff. Like, he would be like, that is a toxic relationship. This, like, choose yourself. Like, anybody would say that. And he was like, you guys are just so great together.
Can we work it out between you two? We can't with Whitney because she's the villain. But can you two work it out? No. It's
not like 5 years have passed and these two have done so much therapy and are in a great place. And he's like, you guys had so much love for each other. Is there a way you could find your way back to each other? We are in the thick of it, my guy.
They're still fucking. They haven't taken a day apart.
They have not separated. They are in a situationship with a child. And every time Taylor talks about the situation, she's sobbing. She's been sobbing online for months and years. Like, that girl does not know peace.
Everyone too, literally, this relationship is so toxic.
So toxic.
She is sitting there like, I found out he was cheating on me multiple times. I keep finding different things out. He keeps lying to me. He keeps gaslighting me. He keeps doing terrible things to me. He keeps yelling at me. And Nick is like, what a future? But can you get back together?
But you guys love each other.
Is it a match? No, break up. This is the most toxic relationship in the entire world.
This was the easiest thing to clock and be like,
break up.
The easiest segment. Hey, you guys are really toxic. I recommend you guys stop sleeping together, heal yourselves, because Taylor did say there's a lot we need to heal on our own. Like, Nick, all you had to say was you guys really need to focus on yourselves. And if you guys are like meant to be, you'll come back to each other, but you need to heal yourself. No. Like, if he really still wanted to give hope for them, it's like, hey, let's stop sleeping together. Go heal yourself. Go to therapy.
What's the craziest part is through this whole thing, he never said, maybe you two should not hook up for a while because you'll probably never move on if you do. He tiptoed around that. He was like, maybe you guys should go to therapy. Maybe you guys should communicate more. But how about you guys just not fuck?
No, and he was so on Dakota's side.
He was so on Dakota's side.
He was like, and like, remember, Dakota, like, she's not asking you for the things you're giving. You're giving a lot to her.
Give her less is basically. And then he was like, Taylor, do you see how you're like in control of the situation and that hurts Dakota?
And she's like, yeah, for the first fucking time. And he's like, exactly. That's you're like, basically like being like you're abusing him right now. Which, like, you're emotionally like jerking him around.
Also, when they were showing clips of this relationship and we had to relive that dad being like, what does that say about you? And Layla's
and
jaw.
We never addressed it.
Layla's jaw never said anything. Dropped and it was never addressed. I would have been like, Taylor, Frankie, Paul, do you understand how terrible it is that your parents spoke to you like that? Are you okay? Are you okay?
What he did is not a reflection of you and your worth. Like, never supported her, said anything. Like, oh my God.
And Dakota turning on you.
I'm trash.
Oh my God. Dakota then turning on you and being like, that's what I'm saying. In that clip, like, stop letting straight men host reality TV shows for women.
It was insane. And then, like, we walked through the nuances of the thing, which, like, we don't need to know the nuances. I don't need the nuances. Like, because there's, like, Taylor's like, every day I find out something new. And I'm like, okay, will be honest.
That was a great sobbing impression of her.
That man sleeping with someone before you guys were serious isn't that big of a deal. It's that he lied to you when you asked him to be honest with you. Like, that's the problem. It's not that he slept with someone else because you guys weren't together. But I do understand like, he told me he doesn't sleep with multiple people, but like, this is all a miscommunication issue. He just wouldn't be honest with you. I don't care about if he slept with 42 women, 2 women before you guys got together. At the end of the day, it's that he lied to you however many times. Then when Dakota starts to apologize and those men are cheering him on in the back, I was like, again, I don't need the peanut gallery in the back. And then he says, but, and they all go, no. I was like, okay, I do like the peanut gallery.
Yeah, Dakota tries to apologize, but he fails.
Like, but you.
I'm really sorry that I did a lot of things to hurt you, but you're abusing me like Nick Viall said. Terrible.
He was like, I didn't want you to be upset. The one thing Nick does is like, do you see how you like use her feelings against her? That like you were the hero to like not tell her the truth because you didn't want to make her upset. I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit, Nick. How about we just say your apology was trash, apologize right, and like get the fuck off my stage?
Isn't Nick the internet police on accountability? And he couldn't be like, your butt really fucked it up here.
He was the internet police with Whitney being like, I haven't heard you take accountability one time today or on any season of this show. Nick, now you want to hold someone's feet to the fire? Are you kidding me?
Also, to Taylor and Dakota, just break up. Just break. No one's rooting. No one's rooting for you.
They're broken up because they'll say they're broken up. Stop.
But then he's licking her at Stagecoach.
Stop having any type of sexual intimacy together let's put a time limit on it, because then you can come back to it if you really want. 6 months. Give me 6 months, because that probably
not just like sexual intimacy. Don't have any type of intimacy. Have a co-parenting relationship.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
it.
No licking each other. No, nothing.
Don't text each other late at night. Don't call each other when you're upset. Literally. Also, Dakota's not even that big a catch, Taylor. You're pretty hot. You can pull a different dude.
I think it always comes back to she just wants to be wanted. And she wants to be wanted by somebody who didn't want her.
I mean, and
because of her dad.
If you watch her dad, she has very low self-esteem, and that's
no.
Oh, well, still, he's yelling at her, and she goes, I'm trash. Her self-esteem is on the ground.
Agree. Wait, what's her biological dad, like, abandoned her. Like, he left, and so, like, she has this, like, abandonment wound.
Are we in therapy? Nick didn't even ask. Are we in therapy?
She is in therapy. Like, because I know you don't follow, like, her online and stuff. She is in hella therapy, but I'm like, girlie, I don't know if it's working.
Well, therapy, you go for, let's say, an hour a week, and then you have to put in the work outside.
I think she goes multiple times a week. That's the thing.
You have to put in work
I don't think she's doing stuff outside of it. Because, like, she would have to stop sleeping with Dakota.
One hour a week was like most people. You go for 1 hour a week, but the therapy's not going to help unless you actually put in work on the outside and, like...
Oh, you know what?
What?
You know what she should do?
What?
She should go take ketamine.
Oh, it solves all your problems.
Me and Whitney did ketamine and we went to therapy.
We can't do alcohol or drink coffee. Whitney and I did ketamine. The way it's so blunt. Anyway, speaking of, then we have Demi. We talk about how she's like the only one who's not afraid of Taylor, and everyone's like, I'm not afraid of Taylor, and all the dads are like, I'm afraid of Taylor. And I went, I'm afraid of Taylor. She's a loose cannon, this woman.
Afraid of Taylor, but not in like her being the leader of this group.
Well, we're not in the group. It's hard for us to say.
I know, no. But like her emotional volatility does scare me. Yes. But her being like the leader of this group who's going to kick me out, not scary. No. Like the things Demi says as if she's is crazy.
No, to be clear, I'm afraid for my safety and Taylor's, not because she's the leader. Yeah. I'm afraid of what she will do. And then we talk about like who's better at taking accountability, Whitney or Taylor. And I was like, this is like comparing shit to vomit. This is comparing shit to vomit. They both suck.
And this is where Nick is like, I haven't heard you take accountability once, like with me. And I was like, Nick, I don't care what you think.
I have to bitch about this because this sent me over the edge during the season, and you know that. It was the CMA thing. I think this is the
dumbest fight
in the world. And I think Taylor was wrong for if that was my friend, I'd be really pissed she put that video out, you know. I'd be like, what the fuck, it's been a day, and also calm down, and I reached out to you privately, so like this is kind of bullshit, right? I understand I'm not chronically on social media, and like this isn't my life, but this is where I'm coming from. Taylor then is like, I took accountability for that. I don't feel sorry for posting the video. I'm sorry that other people
got hate for the video.
And I went, you can't take accountability for other people's actions. Your action was posting the video that caused the hate. And she's sitting there, she's like, I'm accountability queen. I just took accountability. And I was like, that's like me saying like, Meredith, I'm so sorry. I'll take accountability for your landlord raising your rent. I have nothing to do with it. What the fuck? The fuck?
I will say, I understand her because she's so emotionally immature. I'm not approving this. Emotionally immature. I don't approve this reaction, but I understand how her brain went to, this is a coordinated thing. Everybody is so chronically online that for them all to not post for like 24 hours, if I was in her position, I would also probably have that thought. Like, nobody's commented on anything. However, going online and saying that publicly is crazy. If she would have gone to their group chat and been like, F you guys,
bitch everyone out in the group chat.
I would have been like, you know what, go off my queen. Yeah. Like,
but if we're...
That's the mistake you made, is making it public.
That's the thing. If our lives are chronically online, right? This is what we do. Like I feel like, oh, I'm being, targeted, whatever. Then to put that online, you know there is going to be hate. You have to foresee that coming. Like,
yeah,
you know what's coming. You're always online. You know what's going to come out of this. And
she saw what happened with the swinging scandal and taking that publicly. And she has always said, like, I regret how I handled that and making that so public. I just felt like I had to defend myself. So, like, how do you not know that this will blow up? That you now have a show.
It was like, she's like, I'm sorry that they received hate. The hate was directly because of your video.
I didn't want it to get there.
And Nick is like,
I don't care if you want it or not.
Yeah, Nick is like, no, that makes sense, Taylor. And I was like, The fucking, he's like, you know who
and he's like, and Whitney, you never
know who's the villain is Whitney. And I went, no!
He was like, see, Whitney, that's what real accountability's like.
Whitney's...
No. Again, Taylor, you're valid in feeling hurt that nobody commented on things, because I agree with all parties that, like,
sure,
it's what matters in real life. That does take precedent. However, we are in this hyper online world, so public support to them also matters a fucking lot.
Yes.
So, like, you can expect that from your online friends. Like, that is an expectation you should have of mom talk.
Go to the group chat then and be like, what are you guys, what the fuck is this?
Like,
because then if they all say, yeah, this is a coordinated attack, take those screenshots online, baby girl.
Let's go off.
But if you're just spewing crazy, you sound...
Or if, like, somebody commented on Taylor's post and was like, wow, crazy, like, none of the girls are, like, commenting, and she was like, yeah, isn't that weird? Okay, fine. That's the only way you could take this public, is just if, like, somebody else brought it up, and you're just, you, like...
Be petty, tag them all in it, and be like, what the fuck, guys, you know? But to make a whole video of, like, these girl, whatever it fucking said, you know,
and then to be like,
bitches.
No, I regret nothing except for, like, hate that other people sent
because of the video
that you dog whistled.
Yeah, but I don't regret the video. That was crazy. And then at Whitney, also, you suck. That was crazy. I felt like I was high. I was on ketamine watching this. Anyway,
oh, wait, and then with the Whitney Taylor accountability shit, then Nick's like, who takes more accountability? And fucking Dakota's like, Whitney takes more accountability. And then he's like, wait, I don't want to be in this. I'm like, what are you doing here? Again, why are you out here for the CMA Fest segment?
Yeah.
What is going on?
I forgot they took that vote. I gotta be honest, right off the bat. As I've said, some celebrities need to be cut. And the only two celebrities if you want to call them that, moms on this mom talk that I trust are Layla and Michaela. Or no, Layla and Miranda.
And Maze. Oh, wait. Oh, because of their voting.
Because of their voting. And Miranda raised her hand for Whitney and said, I think Whitney takes accountability. So with that, I have to go with where my allegiance stands.
Whitney eventually does come around and take it. I think Taylor makes really snap judgments. It goes really bad, and then she comes down really fast and figures it out a little quicker than Whitney. But Taylor's shit gets way bigger, way faster.
I'm not trying to, like, diagnose people. She should be evaluated. This woman is not okay.
No emotional control. She
can't regulate her emotions. Yes, she cannot regulate her emotions.
She, like, acts on her immediate emotion. And, like, I get it. I've been a very emotional, very high-low person. But, like, somebody told me that, like, your actual emotion really only lasts like 90 seconds. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you just sit with it, like, you'll get over it.
Honestly, to this day, I go to sleep and wake up and I kind of forget all the emotions I had the day before. Like, if I'm mad at someone, if I go to sleep, I'll wake up and be like, it's really not that big a deal.
Well, because you're not sitting there ruminating on it, building it. I feel like, whereas, like, some of these women don't know how to just, and that's the thing. I feel like really don't want that, because then it ruins the reality TV chaos.
Yeah, but I feel like if Taylor I think is she has the emotional immaturity of a 14-year-old. I think though Whitney probably,
that's generous.
I think Whitney probably acted on emotion, and maybe then the next day woke up and was like, fuck, this is like not.
And I think Whitney's are like the interpersonal drama. Yeah. She gets sad. She gets upset. She feels left out. So she lashes out at a direct person. Yeah. Whereas I think Taylor lashes out to the public and makes it a thing, and then has to, like, apologize for the aftershocks. Yeah.
So
whereas, like,
I think I would probably kick it with Whitney before I would kick it with Taylor. Let me tell you. And we really didn't get much of Demi in this segment that was about Demi. So great.
Her, like, random interview pops up at such weird points.
Also, Nick did kind of the same thing to her, where she was, like, explaining herself, and he's like, I still think you're wrong. And I was like, the fuck is happening? It's a terrible interview.
Well, I will say, like, in that side convo before we got to the CMA Fest thing, we talked about the Jessie versus Demi. Again, we never fully talk about the contract debacle. I'm like, can somebody lay this out?
I forgot about that. Can somebody
tell me what happened, what she said, give me a kind of a timeline, a general timeline of what happened here. Yes. They always talk about it in such a vague way. And then the hair thing came up with like Demi like telling Taylor not to go to Jesse for hair. And this is the one time I do think Nick did a good job of being like, do you understand that right now you're arguing semantics instead of just like understanding how that hurt your friend?
Yes, my issue with Nick is like, even if Demi was like, no, I don't understand that, Nick can just be like, okay. He doesn't have to be like, well, I think you're wrong. He could just be like,
I agree with that.
Okay, then, you know, like, great. You don't get it. Period. Yeah.
I think Demi is the only one he needs to quote unquote argue other people's sides because like she needs something to react to.
Well, yeah, because she's alone.
Yeah.
So that's the only time. But he brought up other people's sides and she said, I still don't get it. And he should have just been like, okay.
With the Jesse hair, she was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And then Jesse was like, no, I've literally said that to her and she won't take it. Which Demi is like kind of on my last nerve because I think she thinks she's better than the rest of the cast. And like, that's crazy to me. Like, you can't call yourself a fan favorite. People can call you a fan favorite. You can be like, oh my God, thanks. But her being like, I'm sorry, the fan favorite deserves to be paid more.
It's like giving yourself a nickname. It's awesome.
It's how like Lala thought she like the show and needing to like produce the show was bigger than other people's feelings.
Give me Lala, like, you know, give them Lala. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we bring out the dads.
Why?
I love Michaela's husband. I think he's
I love
precious.
him. I love Macy's husband.
I'm surprised of how they voted because they seem like good people.
I know.
Like, he's like, I'm a girl dad. He's like, I'm a girl dad. And I was like, oh my God, there's a bird, sorry, crashing in my window. Anyway.
Wait, that's Macy's husband who said he was a girl dad.
Oh, I thought it was, sorry. They all look alike too.
Michaela's husband has the like kind of curly, like Jace who didn't really want to be on stuff and he's the stay-at-home dad.
I like them both. All white men also look the same. They all look like Nick Viall.
I was just gonna say, Michaela and Jace are not Mormons. Michaela was raised in the Mormon church, but like not hardcore.
No, I love that. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So then we talk about, listen, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to laugh at him. I just think this is so funny. The porn.
Jace being fired.
No. The porn addiction is so funny. How they're like, okay. And now we got to talk about Connor and his addiction to porn. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
This goes back to Hulu just being terrible at reality TV because they like set this up from season 1 in such a fucking weird way.
It was very glossed over.
Filmed, but it was cut from like so many different times that they tried to film it so that they clearly like like that episode 1 of first season is the pilot and they weren't going to go back and redo the pilot. So that was like a year before season 1 was filmed.
And you could tell by Connor's hair transplant that's sitting there.
Oh my God. They pulled more from that like first round of filming and and then they put that like coloring over it. And I'm like, this is so awkward. And also why did they make him film after the hair transplant?
They put the coloring to make it look like the olden days. Like it's a black and white TV because it was filmed so long ago.
Everything about this did Connor so dirty on like telling his story. And I was like, this is so weird the way this is structured. It makes me feel bad.
It was very glossed over in season 1. We only had a few combos about it. And remember they cut when Whitney was like, you guys aren't checking in on me after Connor cheated and had a porn addiction. So we really only knew that my dude liked porn and he was on Tinder. And other than that, we knew very little about how serious it was. How long was the addiction? We really don't know anything. And so now he's like up here and having to apologize for all of it, which was so weird, but also so funny because it was like, he's like, yes, I have a porn addiction. And everyone's like, oh, the worst addiction. I'm like, my man Zach's addicted to gambling. Like, should we talk about that at all? No.
They're like, thank you for your honesty.
For your candor.
Like, this show, I really feel for him for what happened to him.
Same. I think he handled it.
Speaking up about this, it just like they throw in this context in such a weird place. Like we didn't build into this. They were just like, and Connor, now is your time to speak.
We could have surpassed this because no one really cared that Connor had a porn addiction. We could have talked about.
It sounds like, I will give it some grace that it got brought up because it sounds like he asked to speak about it and like appreciate them giving him some time to be heard. But like, there's a way
to do it to like not make it weird.
They made it weird. Like him saying this stuff, not weird. Him speaking on like his past and his traumas are really great. And I honestly commend him for doing that. And it makes more sense how he spoke to like Michaela in season 2, you know, like, but that's the time to like bring this up. Like, I don't know why Hulu is doing this.
It was very weird. It was like we saw these videos of the dads making TikToks and how much fun they have, and then they're like, "So Connor, about your porn," and I was
no. Then they go like, "Oh, Jace, you lost your job because of like TikTok," and then they're like, "And Connor, now's your time to speak
on your porn addiction."
Like, thank you. Yeah. Can I wrote a few words.
I wrote a sermon. Yeah, it felt really fucking weird. I will commend Connor. I think it was really great because I do think he gets a lot of hate online for this.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, my dude's a little fruity. That's all right. I love him. He's actually like a really, I think, nice guy though. I think him and Whitney are just like kind of a weird pairing.
A lot of people say they're like a lavender marriage, which like I can appreciate their marriage a lot more in that context.
I also think like seeing how much, because Whitney got removed from the group, right? So who was she filming TikToks with? I like that he stepped in and like filmed the TikToks with her.
I agree.
And whether it's a lavender marriage or not lavender marriage, it's a beautiful relationship.
I agree. And when he was speaking and she was tearing up, I was like, I see this partnership. Like I see the value in the connection between these two.
Listen, this is one of, I think, the better, healthier marriages on the show.
Of the ones we see. Because we don't really see Jace and Michaela, and we don't see... God,
I'm not saying Macy's it's the healthiest. I think Michaela and Macy also have very healthy relationships.
But one that's become a storyline.
Yes, I think this one gets a lot of hate where it's unnecessary.
Agreed.
People actually hate on their relationship, was my point. And like, yeah, people also hate, but like the Zach and Jen marriage is terrible.
Rightfully so.
Dakota and Taylor are a fucking mess.
Terrible.
And
now we got Brett and Demi. Like,
that's crazy. We got Jesse and Jordan falling apart. So like, as far as marriages on the show go, this is like in the top 3 places ish.
I agree
and I
with
think
that.
Again, it's a beautiful relationship, and I like that he took ownership. And I think this is almost to maybe like help his wife's image, to be like, we get a lot of hate, and like, I just want to explain it.
He said, like, I want people to get to know Whitney for who she is. And I was like, this man's just trying to support his wife. He really loves
her. Whether it's, again, romantic or not, he loves that woman.
I agree.
And I am kind of Team Whitney and Connor after this.
I like them. I even like their TikToks. Like,
I think he
actually just joined TikTok, and it's so funny.
I like that he actually dances with her. Like, I enjoy that, seeing into their relationship like that. That's it. I think they look like they have so much fun together. They look like they just like are 2 besties hanging out, which like at the end of the day, isn't that what you want your marriage to be? Great.
Very good point.
Yeah, I really like that. And then after that, we had to go on and talk about Jen and Zach. And I was like,
okay,
we should have ended with the porn stuff.
Also, when the dads came out, then like Miranda and Layla leave, which I'm like, why do they need to leave?
Did they?
And then, because then Jen and Zach come sit down, and Layla and Miranda come back. And I'm like, what the fuck is with the shuffling of all these people?
I don't know. Anyway, I still don't really understand what's happening with Demi and Vanderpump Villa and Jen and Zach, and I don't care, honestly.
I don't either, because again, Jen especially, I'm like, tell me what you're claiming. If you think that there's a cease and desist, which like, Hulu, what are you doing with your contracts? You should make sure that people who like talk about each other on their shows aren't getting sued. Like,
they can't talk about it. There's a legal issue, Meredith.
Oh, I thought you were about to say, we got season 3 coming.
We do have season 3 coming.
Also, this is the one thing I really do hate Jen for, is she like kind of talks out of this like one side of her mouth and then like switches up. Like, she'll like act so big and bad about certain things and then like doesn't like say the truth to the other party. She does that in her own marriage, and then she's doing that now, like all on like Nick's podcast and like all the like like podcast tour, she's like, I've got so much to say. Just wait. I have all these receipts. And you know what? Maybe it's Hulu who's editing it in a fucking weird way, but say it with your chest, bitch. Say she made out with Marciano in Italy, in the game. Like, give me the Clue style.
In the library with the lead pipe. Yeah, give it to me.
And then after the fact, she had inappropriate messages. And then she like accosted me on the phone and tried to make me lie. Like, give me all the beats that you're saying she did. We don't get the first, but we do get the recording of Demi trying to like cover up some of whatever the story is.
I think that's it, is like the phone call means very little because I don't know what the claim
the allegation is.
It's like we're in court, because I don't know what we're fighting.
What is the charge? I don't know what the charge is.
Public opinion cannot make a decision. The jury is at a standstill.
And you're giving me this evidence that could matter, but it also could kind of be nothing, because if you're just shit talking my marriage, all right, I might call it, like, if you were going to shit talk, like, say I'm married on this podcast, I might call you and be like, listen, there's some things going on. Here are the beats I'd like you to hit. Like, let's not get into it. I kind of get it, Demi. Like, I kind of get it being like, just say you can't speak for me. Like, that's not the worst.
It was really dumb. And then we had to end with Dancing with the Stars news.
Alicia, this pissed me. I saw this online before
you watched?
Before I watched it. And I was like, this isn't how I thought it was going to be.
I didn't like that they were like, only one of you has gotten the call. It's either Jen or Whitney. I was like, damn, of course it's not going to be Whitney. Nick hates her.
Wait. Hold on. Back up. Them being like, all of you tried out to be on Dancing with the Stars. Tried out? No, that's so embarrassing. Also, don't tell Sheena Shea. She'll be like, where was my call? But normally you're like famous enough where you just get asked to be on it. You guys had to try out for this?
That was weird.
That's so embarrassing.
And he's like, only one of you will prevail. It's either Jen or Whitney. And everyone's like, who do you think got it? And everyone's like, oh, Jen has wanted this since birth. But Whitney was an actual dancer. And I was like, wanted this? Whose life goal besides Sheena Shea is it to be on Dancing with the Stars? Like, get a new life, you know?
Which, like, no shade to people who go on it. But yeah,
this is your life's aspiration.
This is the peak of your life.
Which we know is Sheena Shea's peak. We know.
Especially when it's used as the reason you should be on there is crazy to me. Like, if you get selected and you're on Good Morning America and you're like, I've been wanting to do this forever. This is going to be so much fun. Fine. But like, as they're like, Whitney loves to dance and Jen's wanted this.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too. Because I've seen both their dancing TikToks, Whitney is a better dancer than Jen.
Jen's there. Whitney dances.
Yeah. But if you were to show me both videos and said which one's a better dancer, it's clearly Whitney. Yeah. So if we're trying out, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And then they're like, oh, Jen, you got it.
And poor Whitney had to then sit there. And then Nick's like, how does that make you feel? Whitney's like, obviously I'm happy for Jen. Because he was ready to be like, but aren't you sad for yourself, you selfish cow?
He's trying to be like, I bet you're pretty bitter right now.
I bet you hate Jen. But Whitney's like, no, I'm obviously happy for Jen. And then he's like,
and Connor's like, we're gonna vote for you. We're so
Connor's
excited.
Actually really nice. Connor's actually like the nicest dude. And then Nick's like, oh, by the way, Whitney also got on it. And then I was like, celebrate.
That
killed him to say
that. He was just supposed to announce both of them, but he was like, you know what? I really gotta dig out Whitney one more time. Who knew Nick Viall was gonna make me such a Whitney
I'm such a Whitney stan because of Nick Viall. I clipped this. Hey, Nick Viall, I like Whitney better because you hate her. I'm such a fan.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Whitney,
welcome to the club, Whitney. Like,
no, this is a safe space for you now. This is your safe space. No, fuck you, Nick Viall. I bet they were like, announced it to people, and he's like, only one of you. Because fuck you, Whitney. And Whitney is so genuinely happy. Like, Connor gets up, they hug, and then her and Jen hang out, and then Nick is like, you guys get to go against each other now. And I was like, oh my God.
No fucking shit, Nick.
It's 90% the votes. And both of these women won't. They were like, what if we both make it to the final? They're both not making it to the final. I'm telling you right now.
Let's be honest. These two were cast because they loved, like, Dancing with the Stars producers loved the social media pop off that it was last year. And they're like, you know who will keep it going? The Mormon wives.
Yeah, it's 90% on the fans. And the moms aren't going to really vote for you. The old people that watch the show, probably not.
They're trying to get the younger crowd, though. This is a great move on casting. They cast Alex Earl and announced her already. Like, they're clearly trying to get... These are great casting moves.
Just
but
know,
like, Nick, you just needed to announce both.
I'm going to love covering this show coming up. I'm telling you right now, unless Alex Earl blows my socks off with her dancing, I'm not voting for her. And unless
I can't wait to watch through your videos.
I think Whitney is gonna win me over even more. Here's how, though, I'm gonna be so angry.
Okay.
I need like the whole cast to be released before they announce partners. Because I already know how they're gonna give out partners, I think, for some, and it's gonna piss me off.
Well, I worry that Whitney is going to do really well. She's going to get dances. No, but like she's a villain kind of in her own show. So I just worry in general because the people who watch it won't vote for her, and anybody else might vote for Jen.
Usually, and this is a hot usually, the Dancing with the Stars community does like to vote for good dancers. Usually,
okay,
if Whitney can give some good dancing, I like that.
They do.
My recent issue is that they are like, oh, we have to vote for the best dancer. Whereas I think we should vote for someone who grows throughout the competition.
Yeah.
Like JoJo Siwa was in the finals, and I'm glad she didn't win because she, was a dancer. It's unnecessary. Give it to the basketball player who blew our socks off, like crazy. But I will say, usually we stick to like good dancing, except for Harry Jowsey. I don't know what happened with him, but it also has a lot to do with the partner you're partnered up with.
Yeah.
So like if your partner is very popular, you're gonna go pretty far, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you have a less popular partner, you're probably not going to go as far. And I already know that they're going to give Robert Irwin the most popular partner, and it's going to piss me off because the really young dancers should get like the older people.
Okay, we only have 4 people announced, right? It's Alex Earl, Robert, and then the Mormon wives. So like we got time. We're going to see. Alicia's going to watch it and recap it on TikTok. I'm not someone who's going to watch it. No offense to anybody in the community, but I like watching it on TikTok. So join us on TikTok for that.
Okay. Yeah. There's only the 4 that have been announced. Ugh, Julianne Hough comes back.
So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Great. So that was Mormon wives for anyone who cared. I didn't, but
you know what? Just wait for season 3.
I don't know what they can discuss, though, because of their legal contracts. So stupid. I hate it here. I'm going to go take a coffee enema. I don't even know what that is still. I got to look it up.
God.
I got to look it up.
Don't do that to me.
Okay, well, I didn't say this at the beginning, but we have a TikTok and Instagram, a Patreon. We have the show. Stick around. We'll be covering like way more interesting stuff coming up, but yeah.
But it's hard to cover it all. So like the things we don't talk about here are covered over there.
Yeah, look it up. It's great. Anyway, I think that's it. Is that it?
It definitely is.
Cool. Love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.